Hello everybody, it's Mystic and welcome back to my library. Today I want to talk about my top 5 games that I played in 2024. And this year was a little bit of a weird gaming year for me. I didn't play as many games as I usually do. It was kind of an off year. I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling it. I was more into doing other hobbies like gardening and baking and reading. So I did play games, but not as many as usual. However, I did play some really good ones too. So I wanted to talk about my favorite games of this year. Some of them are from 2025. 2025? Nope, we're not there yet. Some of them are from 2024. They released in 2024, and others were games that I played for the first time in 2024, but had released previously. So these are in no particular order. I didn't rank them from like least favorite, favorite to most favorite. All of these are great. I highly recommend all of them. But before I get started, I do want to talk about my 2 honorable mentions. And the reason these are honorable mentions is because I actually started them in 2023. And so I figured there was they weren't fully played in 2024, but I do still want to mention them because I still love them. And those are Coral Island, which released fully released in 2024, like 1.0. I think, but I started playing it in 2023 because I was playing it in early access. I really love that game. It is a super cozy, very bisexual, panicky farming game that has a huge focus on conservation and saving the planet and all of that kind of stuff. I just really loved it. The story is really good. I'm still playing it. I still play it whenever I'm kind of in that mood. I really still love it. There's still a lot I have to do. I haven't finished the entire story yet, but I do love what I've seen so far. It's also got some of my favorite holiday events of any farming game I've ever played. They're so well done. And from what I hear, they actually change each year as you progress in the story. So you'll see more things during the events and things happen as you help out Coral Island and help to get rid of the oil spill and that sort of thing. So I'm excited to see where that goes. I do think that was a really nice touch. The other honorable mention is probably no surprise to anyone, and that is Balers Gate 3. I have been completely obsessed with this game ever since it came out, and I don't think that is ever going to stop. It has easily become my all-time favorite game ever, and that was huge because it replaced Mass Effect for me, which I still very much love Mass Effect. I will always love Mass Effect, but Balers Gate has kind of inched out a little bit on Mass Effect, and I could just see myself playing this game for forever. I love it so much. There's always something new to find. Even after hundreds of hours of playing it, I'm still finding new things, and there's new ways to play. They're adding a new bunch of classes in the next few months. I think it's going to happen sometime in 2025. So I'm really excited because one of my favorite druid classes is coming out, or my favorite D&D druid class, which is Circle of Stars. So I'm definitely planning on playing that. I'm going to be playing it a ton again, as per usual, but again, it's honorable mention because I started it in 2023, but honestly, it'll probably be on my honorable mentions for forever because I can't see myself stopping to not play it. Words are hard. I can't see myself not playing it, is what I was trying to say. So now let's go to the actual top 5 list. And again, these are in no particular order. All of these games were fantastic. I'm not ranking them at all. I just want to talk about them and why I love them so much. So first up is Beacon Pines. When I was still streaming on Twitch, which I haven't been lately, but when I played Beacon Pines on Twitch. I loved it so much. It is such a good, cozy, story-driven game, and I honestly didn't expect to love it as much as I did. I mean, I figured I would like it, but I didn't think it would make my top 5 at first, and oh my god, this game is so good. It is, like I said, story-driven. There's a huge mystery surrounding the town of Beacon Pines. You're playing as a bunch of adorable little woodland creatures. Well, you're playing as one little woodland creature, but there's a bunch of other little woodland creatures to help you out. And the story is so good. I can't talk too much about it because, spoilers, I really think everybody needs to play this game for themselves. The ending shocked me. I did not see it coming, and usually I can figure these things out. And I have a reaction of me figuring out what happens. I think it's on Twitch. I think it's also on YouTube. I was shocked. It was so good. I love this game so much. And I hope that the developers come out with another Beacon Pines-like game in the future because I will 100% play it. It is such a good game, and I can't recommend it enough. You're actually playing, you're playing as somebody that's kind of like reading a book. You get to like turn the pages and insert words to progress the story, basically. So like you'll be given a blank. It's kind of like Mad Libs almost, if you know what those are and are as old as I am, which I know not everybody is, but it's kind of like Mad Libs where you can insert different words to change the story and to change the direction that it's going. It's also kind of like a choose your own adventure novel. Each time you insert a word, a different branch of the story happens, and you can see like all of the different endings. There's multiple different endings, and I do recommend seeing all of them because it actually helps the story play out even better. And it is just, it's perfect. It is such a perfect story-driven game. I love it so much, and I really just wish more people knew about it because I do feel like it really flew under the radar. It is an indie kind of cozy game, but oh my god, it's so good, and I just wish more people would play it. Next up is a new game for me. This one just came out, and I kind of figured I was going to like this one, but I'm still surprised at how much I like this one, and that is Infinity Nikki. That is a cozy kind of like Breath of the Wild-esque game where you're playing Nikki, and she is a stylist in the land of Mirrorland, and stylists basically play dress up to battle and compete against other stylists, and your whole aim of the game is to find new fashion to wear during these styling competitions. But there's also such an incredible story that I really wasn't expecting from this little dress-up game. It is so good. It's also dark, and I wasn't expecting that at all. I knew that the story was going to be pretty good based on the previous iterations of the Nikki games. I haven't played them, but I've heard really good things. But I really wasn't expecting how dark it was going to be. And that honestly surprised me in a really good way because I love dark fantasy. Some of my favorite games and books are in the dark fantasy, grimdark fantasy genre. So it surprised me, but I'm very pleasantly surprised by it. And the other thing that's really cool about Infinity Nikki is that it does play a lot like Breath of the Wild. It is actually, I think one of the developers is a previous Breath of the Wild developer. So a lot of the puzzles and the dungeons that you're going to be in are very similar to that. So if you like that style of gameplay, I definitely think you're going to like Infinity Nikki. It is a gacha game, which I know is not everybody's cup of tea, but I have to say, it is a very kind gacha game. It's not very predatory at all. I mentioned it in my initial reactions video or my initial thoughts video about Infinity Nikki that I've only spent like $35 and I have gotten everything that I've wanted. Now, obviously, if you want more than the things that I wanted, you'll probably need to spend a little bit more, but you really don't have to, and you can easily play the game without spending any money at all, and it's just so much fun. There's really nothing bad to say about this game. I love the story, the graphics, the game, the music, everything is gorgeous, and I just love how it plays. I love solving the puzzles. There's so much to it that I just absolutely love. I haven't finished the story yet, but oh my god, it is getting so good. I mean, it's always been good, but it's getting even better, and it's so dark. I can't get over how dark it is, but it's just it's so good, and I can't wait to see where the story takes us. This game, being a gacha, is going to be in active development for probably years, so there's going to be more added to the story as time goes on. Chances are this will be in my honorable mentions along with Balers Gate for quite some time. I just love playing it. I love it. And you really can take a few days off from it if you're not really feeling the gacha grind, and it's okay. Like, there's really nothing bad that's going to happen if you take a few days off from it. So, like I said, it's a very kind gacha. So if you're more of a casual gacha gamer or just a casual gamer in general, I really do think that you would like Infinity Nikki because it is just perfect for that. Next up is the other game that I knew I was going to love going into this year. And it was no surprise how much I love it. I'm not done with it yet. I think I'm probably about halfway through, but I already know that this game is going to be on my top list for a while. It's going to probably end up there with Balers Gate and Mass Effect and Persona 5 and Dragon Age as one of my favorite series. And well, series game, it's not really a series yet. Maybe it will be, but that is Metaphor ReFantazio. Oh my God. The story of this game is absolutely incredible. If you love Atlas games, which they do, Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, you will absolutely love this. It's very similar in gameplay style to at least Persona. I've not played Shin Megami Tensei. I do want to, but I haven't gotten to it yet. The story is absolutely amazing so far. It is also very dark, but that one I knew going into it. It's an Atlas game. Atlas games tend to be very dark, so I was not surprised at all that that is the direction that it went in. I love every character so much. The friendship of the group of people that you're with in this game is so heartwarming and wholesome. I just love all of them so much. And I think the reason why is because none of them are perfect. Like, there's a lot of issues that they've had in the past. They have a lot that they need to overcome. They each have their own flaw. And I think that that is what makes them so likable, because they just feel so human, even though some of them are not human. Actually, none of them are human. I can't really get too far into that either. But yeah, none of them are human. You actually don't want to be human in this universe. That would be bad. I love it. I'm so intrigued about the story. I'm so intrigued about what it is that we're fighting, because you probably already know, but the main bad guys in the game are humans, but they look monstrous. And I just want to know, like, I want to know what that is. And I am going to continue playing it. I actually play this one on my Steam Deck. It plays incredibly well on the Steam Deck. I just sit and I'm cozy and I'm playing it, and I'm just completely immersed in the story and the characters and everything that is going on, like, politically in this game. It is so good. It actually plays. So one of my favorite authors is Brandon Sanderson. He is a high fantasy author who writes a lot of very, like, politically intriguing stories. This game plays like a Brandon Sanderson novel, and it makes me so happy. I love everything by him, and the fact that this is very similar in storytelling to how Brandon Sanderson does his novels is just so captivating to me. And I love that I'm kind of experiencing one of his books in video game form. I don't know if that was their intention. I have no idea, but it very much feels like a Brandon Sanderson book in video game form, which, by the way, I would love if we could eventually get a Mistborn game or a Stormlight Archives game. I'm just saying, Brandon Sanderson, that would be amazing. I know you have board games, but maybe if we could get, and a tabletop game too. I think there's a Mistborn tabletop game. If we can get a video game, I would love it. But yeah, it very much feels like something that he wrote. There's a lot of political intrigue. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that you're trying to figure out. And it's just so incredible and so well done. The combat is so much fun. And there's nothing bad to say about this game. It is perfect. Next up is my farming game favorite of the year. And it's funny because this game's not even done yet, but I already love it so much. They're going to be continuing to work on it through 2025, maybe even through 2026. I'm not sure, but that is Fields of Mystera. And this one is a fantasy-leaning farming game, so cozy. If you grew up in the 90s, the art style is very reminiscent of like a 90s anime, like very Sailor Moon vibes to it. It's so wholesome. There's really not, I wouldn't say there's a darkness to the story of this game, but maybe. I haven't gotten as far in the story in this game, and I know they're still developing it. I just love everything about this game. The way that they write their characters is so well done. The characters feel real, which sometimes in a farming game, they feel a little bit two-dimensional or one-dimensional, I think that's the word, where everything kind of just falls a little flat. You're talking to the NPCs and they're saying the same thing over and over every day, and it just feels a little not right. This game, I think I have had a conversation with every character almost every day, and they're always saying something different. And it also, like, they will say something depending on what you have done the day before, depending on who you've talked to the day before, depending on your relationship with somebody else. It is so incredible how well these characters have been written. And the story itself, like I said, is really good so far. I still have a ways to go with it, but it has been really interesting to learn about Mystera and why, you know, the dragons are gone and why there was an earthquake. And I'm just so interested in this. This is also another game with some pretty intense bisexual panic. Not as intense as Coral Island, but definitely it's there. And I am still struggling on who I want my character to marry. It is between Celine and Reina, but also Adeline. There's 3 people that I absolutely adore in this game. And yeah, I'm going to be very torn for a while on this, but thankfully I have time to figure that out because I don't believe there is marriage in this game yet. So that'll be happening later. They're gradually adding more stuff. At the time of recording this, I've only done 1 festival because at the time there was only 1 festival in the game, but they have since added another. I haven't gotten to it yet. And like I said, it's actively still in development. They're going to be adding marriage. They're going to be adding children. They're going to be adding new things to do on your farm, new stories, new events. It's just actively in progress. And it is the best early access game I think I've encountered in a really long time. For an early access game, it is so much content already, and they're going to just keep adding more. I'm so excited to see where Fields of Mystera goes. Again, this one started for me in 2024, so if it makes it onto 2025, it'll probably end up on honorable mention, which I'm starting to think my honorable mention list might get a little long. Maybe I should just do a whole video on that, but we'll get there next year. And yeah, I just absolutely love this game so much. And finally, last but not least, certainly last but not least, is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Okay, so this game, I ended up playing it on YouTube. It was a Let's Play series, and I do have to say, I wish I hadn't done it as a Let's Play. I really wish I had just let myself experience it on my own time. That did not take away from this game at all. It is incredible. I have so many videos where I am like sobbing over the story or just shocked or just amazed at how well written this game is. And this is another game where I just love every single character, and they're not perfect either. They all have their flaws and they all have things that they need to work through. And this story is just so sad. I can't talk too much about it. This is one that you really just need to experience for yourself. I think everybody needs to play the Xenoblade series at least once. I have played all of them. I haven't finished Future Redeemed, which is the DLC for Xenoblade 3, which, by the way, I know people are asking on YouTube if I'm going to do that as a series. I am not. I'm not going to be doing a Let's Play of it. I would much rather just experience it for myself. However, I do have some Xenoblade videos in the works that I want to talk about in 2025. So there will still be Xenoblade videos. It's just not going to be any more Let's Plays because I can't do Let's Plays. My ADHD does not let me hold to Let's Plays without really burning out. And I don't want to burn out on this game because it is so amazing. And I just can't say enough good things about it. Xenoblade, the entire series has been such an incredible journey. This one, I think 3 is probably my favorite of the 3 that I've played. It is really, really good. And I love, like I said, I love the characters so much. All of them have been amazing. And I don't think I have a favorite. I keep kind of flip-flopping, and I feel like the reason for that is because they're all just so, there's such a depth to all of the characters that it is so hard to pick a favorite because there's just so much to all of them. And like I said, they're not perfect either. Just like the Metaphor group, they are all working through their own stuff, and the story and how you see each of them kind of grow and learn and tackle the really crappy hand that they've been dealt is just incredible. It was such an amazing experience to play this game. I've heard Future Redeemed is going to be the same way. I am about halfway through it. I need to finish it. I'm looking forward to finishing it. And then I want to, like I said, talk about the game a little bit and just kind of really share my thoughts about it, because this is obviously a compilation video. I'm not going to be able to put too much time into talking about each game, and I have a lot of thoughts about the Xenoblade series as a whole. Also, Xenoblade Chronicles X is coming out this year, so I definitely want to make sure I am going to be playing that as well. Oh, it's re-releasing. It's been out, but I don't have a Wii U to play it, so it's coming out on the Switch. I'm definitely going to be playing that as well, and I'll be sharing my thoughts here. When I get to it, it's probably not going to be right away, but absolutely love the Xenoblade series, and Xenoblade 3 was just so good. I mean, 1 and 2 made me cry as well, but I was just full on ugly crying during Xenoblade 3, and I can't stop thinking about this game. There are days where I'll just be sitting here and I'll just be like, man, Xenoblade 3 was just really good. And I'm so glad that I finally played it and that I got to experience it, because it was is just incredible, and I loved it, and I want to just keep singing its praises for forever. So that wraps up my top 5 video games of 2024. I have another video where I want to talk about the games that I want to play in 2025. I'm trying to pare it down to 10 games, but I'm really struggling. So I'll have to see how that goes, but I'm hoping to get that one up in a week or two. And then, yeah, we're almost done with 2024. I hope it's been a good year for you. It's been kind of hit or miss for me. Hopefully 2025 will be a little bit better. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.